There's a lot of bad things that Nintendo has done over the years. We can all look and point to Mario Tennis Ultra Smash and Super Mario 3D All-Stars as some of the worst things Nintendo's ever done. However, though, in my opinion, that is absolutely not the worst thing Nintendo's ever done. Back in the Wii and DS days, we had something called the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. With this, you were able to play games online with people, and it was amazing. Well, not really, as half of the games except Mario Kart Wii really did not run well online, as I used to have the experience of playing those. While you can still technically do that nowadays with Wiimify, there was another thing. In the 3DS and Wii U games, there was something called Nintendo Network, where if you signed up for that, which was absolutely free, by the way, you got to play Wii U and 3DS games online. It was amazing. However, as we evolved into the Switch era, we got Nintendo Switch Online a year after the Switch launched. And the service was interesting. But before we talk about Nintendo Switch Online, I'd like to give you guys a brief introduction to the guest known as Kartfessor, which many of you guys have known by now.
Hello guys, I'm Kartfessor here. And yeah, man, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. We've been discussing about this topic for about a couple days now, so it's finally time to rant on this piece of garbage that shouldn't have existed.
So, how did this even come to be? Well, as I told you in the beginning of the video, we had Nintendo Network and we had Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, but Nintendo Switch Online came out in 2018, and everybody hated it. For a lot of things, it not only ran horribly, and just a brief improvement over the Wii U and Wii. Another thing that absolutely pissed players off was the fact that, well, you had to pay $20 a year to play online now. Yeah, sure, you got brief things like, again, online play, that's the usual thing. Then you got to play NES and later on SNES games, and then have your save data backed up to the cloud, which is something that should not be locked behind a membership. Special offers, and that's basically all you got with the membership. Oh yeah, and also that smartphone app, I guess. But other than that, this membership was a pretty big disaster for many people. The one thing that I always defended about Switch Online was, hey, at least it's cheap. However, though, eventually that curse got broken in 2021. September 2021 Direct, as we mentioned, has been an interesting one. Kirby and the Forgotten Land got revealed, and I was going crazy for that. But another thing that got revealed was the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. With this, they announced that N64 games and Genesis games were coming to the Switch, but locked behind a paywall. At first, I was like, okay, it's going to be like $10. Then they announced the DLC is going to be the Animal Crossing DLC Happy Home Paradise will be dropping with it as well. However, what beyond made me frustrated and angry, and by far the worst thing Nintendo has done, charge $50 for a 64 games, Genesis games, and DLCs. Like, come the frick on. I'm done with these barely functioning N64 emulators that had problems at launch, and trust me, I was there. I bought this thing. This thing had so much problems at launch, for the love of God, dude. And then the second part, why put Genesis games on this expansion pack? We already got a Genesis collection in 2018 on the Switch. Why do we need Genesis games? Literally half of the library is already on that. Why not include something like the Game Boy or something that's not on the Switch already?
Yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, the day before the Nintendo Direct, they announced that it's going to be on September 23rd. September 23rd is my birthday, and that's also Nintendo's anniversary. So I made a birthday wish that I wish that one thing got revealed that was something good, and that was Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that my birthday wish came true. But there was another thing, which was the expansion pack, and I said, like, okay, so this is going to be DLCs for the Switch Online. I was very excited. And then when we saw the ending, oh my God, this can't be happening. It's just like, why? It's just like you're adding this later approach after the Switch Online launch. It should have been on Nintendo Switch Online on the first day. Like, why could not make them separately? Why can we just not get like what if like nobody likes the Genesis? Like, what if people want to get the N64 separately? Like, why couldn't Nintendo do that for crying out loud?
Yeah, one thing I absolutely hated about the expansion pack, as I mentioned, was the absurd price. For $50 a year, and by the way, only a year, you can't do a month or 3 months or not even a week. Only $50 a year do you get N64 games each month, by the way. Only one compared to the NES and SNES where we got at least two every single month for each one. Yeah, sure, Genesis games and I guess SNES has been getting recent recognition, but for the love of God, at least do more than one N64 game. Honestly, it just sucks. And as Kartfessor mentioned, the fix it later approach is by far one of my most annoying things about the Switch era. However, though, that's a topic for a whole nother video. I have a whole lot to say about that, but again, that's for a whole nother video. But then, like I said, the Animal Crossing DLC, huh? Why was there not a separate expansion pack without that DLC? That way we could have gotten just the Genesis or N64 game, or hell, just the N64 games.
They added the Animal Crossing DLC to the update, not just putting the expansion pack.
I think the only good thing I could say about the expansion pack was when the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC got revealed to be put in there. However, in my opinion, the Mario Kart 8 DLC was pretty fun. Wave 1 was pretty neat. But I slowly realized something that, again, it's not really the topic of this video, so I can't really talk much about the Mario Kart 8 DLC itself. But for the love of God, when we take a look at other streaming services other than, Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, we could then take a look at Xbox Game Pass for a year for $60, which again isn't bad, but it is. I mean, it's still almost as bad as the expansion pack's price, but that is worth the $60. You get hundreds of games for absolutely free, and on top of that, you get Xbox Live Gold, where you can get games that are from 360 or the original Xbox era. You get those, you get to keep them forever, even if your membership expires. Although for Xbox One games, that's simply not true. And then the other thing is you get EA Play with your subscription as well. And then you get barrage access to EA games. That 100% is worth the $60 I spent a year on that. That is worth the money. Now, what could the expansion pack be improved for? Well, in my opinion, what definitely could have been improved for it is how Game Pass works. You could put on Switch games like first party or third party for free with that subscription. And then on top of that, you could add retro games like you've already been doing. Maybe add a virtual console or something. And then on top of that, then offer a whole another base subscription. Maybe team up with something else. Like maybe possibly, I don't know if this will ever happen, but if you possibly teamed up with Xbox to bring Game Pass over to Nintendo, like I said, the expansion pack could be improved in so many ways to be like Game Pass. You could have free first-party and third-party Switch games, and they'll be added at least every 2 weeks. Then you can also buy a lot of virtual console games as well. See, that would be worth $50. But this isn't.
Yeah, exactly, man. Just get the normal pack, because even though you just get NES, SNES games, it's worth it because you get a lot of SNES and NES games every month. Like we recently got Mappy, Dicks Up 2, and First World Gym 2 and all that. So we get more games on NES, SNES than N64 and Genesis.
Honestly, I'm still utterly baffled. Why do we need Genesis again? Like I said, there's already a collection on Switch that's literally like $20 and has like all of the games on the expansion pack's library. Another thing I hate about the expansion pack is the absurd emulation at launch for Nintendo 64. They've slowly improved the emulation, but at launch, Ocarina of Time's Dark Link room had water in it, and they completely removed the effect that made that room so cool. And then when Paper Mario came out for that, it totally crashed people's Switch and even possibly deleted their save file, which is insane. Not much was really reported after that, but again, They're releasing a unfinished, not even good at 64 emulator. We've truly understood the decline of 64 emulators. The Wii's was pretty good, and I will always stand by that. The Wii U had that weird dark shade to everything that I didn't like, and then the Switch with its awful input delay. The first thing I did when I got the expansion pack was speedrun Super Mario 64, and I obviously put that on my YouTube channel. But during that speedrun, I noticed the horrendous input delay I got. Literally, it took almost a full-on second for Mario to even register the jump, and sometimes I would mess up just because of the bad input delay. It gets on my nerves every single time I play Mario 64, or any game for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. I just hope the normal pack is like another expansion for the normal pack, not the expansion. I hope we get like Game Boy and Sega Saturn on there to make it equal, so like both of the packs can be equal, because now it's just like it's unfair to the normal pack because you only have SNES and NES, and I wish we had Saturn and Game Boy for that.
In my opinion, what would make I've already said what I think would make the expansion pack worth the money. But I will admit, putting Game Boy games, here's how it would go. Saturn games would be put on the original service, then they would put the Game Boy games on actually no, it would be the exact opposite way around. You'd get the Game Boy games on the original service, but then get the Saturn on the expansion pack service. And for Sega Dreamcast, that could also go on the expansion pack service. But with the same year, you would also be getting GameCube games, which would 100% be amazing, especially when we get GameCube games on the go. I would love that. But the expansion pack could be improved in so many ways, and it hurts me to see what Nintendo's doing. They're by far making you pay $50 a year to experience a 1 in 64 game a month. Barely any Genesis games actually get added, and half the time, the Genesis games they add is unbelievably absurd. You got Sonic 2 on there, but not Sonic 1. I can get Sonic 3 because of the whole copyright law with Michael Jackson, but here's the thing. In my opinion, why would you include Sonic 2 but not include Sonic 1? It's like when you buy like the NES Classic Edition, but it includes Mario 2 American version, but it does not include 3 or 1. It makes no sense. So honestly, it's just a bad service. But I bought it simply because I'm a Nintendo fan, and I pretty much buy anything that comes on there. And also because I wanted to experience 64 games portably. So whatever you do, if you ever bought this expansion pack, I will tell you right now, if you're having fun with it, don't let this video change your thoughts on it. It's perfectly okay. I will not complain on what you like. You like what you like. That's what I've always said. If I seem to be shitting on a game that you don't like or something that you don't like, it's fine. Your thoughts do not need to be condoned by mine. You can always like something that I don't like, and that's perfectly okay. So if you like something like the expansion pack or like anything I've reviewed with Kartfessor so far, that's perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, same for me, man.
It's just that this whole entire thing gets on my nerves because you're, again, getting $50 for barely anything good. It's just not worth the money, especially about how much Game Pass is worth. And what about PlayStation Plus? I've never experienced PlayStation Plus because I don't own much of PlayStation systems that actually have it, so I don't know how that is. But anyone who does own a PlayStation, tell me your thoughts about it in the comments. But again, like
it's just like, let's just get the normal pack because it has more games and all that, and it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, and another thing that unbelievably is also absurd is, remember, like I said at the beginning of the video, we were able to play online for absolutely free with the Wii U and 3DS and the Wii DS. What is the point of charging $20 for a freaking service that barely even gives us anything good to begin with? Half the time, you're getting, like, absolutely crappy connection. I'm done. This Mario Maker game runs horribly with the Switch Online connection. And even if you need a Rant adapter to even get even decent connections on Switch Online, it sucks. And for the love of God, why did we even get this? No one asked for an expansion pack at all. You could have just given me Nintendo 64 games on the regular pack. But no, you have to pay $70 a year now, so freaking deal with it. It's honestly annoying, and I swear to God, I'm getting way too old for this company. But honestly, I have to do what I do best and rant about something. It's been a long time since I've done a rant, and honestly, I'm really happy I got to let all my anger out for this video. I've been wanting to do this expansion pack review for quite a few months now before I even met Kartfessor, and I just never got around to doing it. So now that it's finally a thing, if anything ever improves with this expansion pack in the near future, I might possibly make an update video, but I highly doubt it. I mean, half the time when this is like the most angry I've been in a video in a long time. I'm unbelievably flattered that we're at to pay $20 or $70 a year now to get garbage online that barely even functions, and half the time it doesn't even work well. Half the time when I play Mario Maker 2, oh look at this, it's already got 1 frame per second. It takes for ages for the freaking game to start when I could just boot up Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U or Smash 4 and play that instead. It's honestly a waste of money, and I've always wanted to be making stuff on this. Switch Online alone is the absolute garbage service, and it pains me to say this. But for the love of God, you're going to lock retro games behind paid subscription services when previously we had the Virtual Console, which gave us, at least from the Wii U, we got NES, SNES, N64, DS, we got Game Boy Advance, we also got freaking Wii games digitally. On top of that, TurboGrafx 16, Sega Genesis, you also got so many other stuff. This is 100% not supposed to exist. At this point, Virtual Console games are just Switch Online at this point. It makes me furious, and I've always been wanting to do a Rant video on Switch Online and the expansion pack especially. Switch Online is just, in my opinion, one of the worst services that anyone can ever expect. And man, it really does pain to be a Nintendo fan in the current year. Well, a lot of crazy stuff is coming out this year and has already came out, like Forgotten Land and Legends Arceus. In my opinion, the future stuff looks amazing, especially Mario Strikers, Splatoon 3, and, well, that's really all I have after that. But this is looking like a similar year for Nintendo, like 2017. But again, before we even got Switch Online, we were able to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for absolutely free. So what was the point of making this service? For money. But locking online behind a paywall is, in my opinion, one of the most stupidest things. Xbox kind of started it with Xbox Live Gold, but honestly, I just hate pure online subscription services in general. Making us pay to play online sucks, and I hate it when that happens. But that's just that's just our life now. We have to deal with thousands of subscription services because cable is absolutely useless now, and we have to buy a lot of subscription services because we like our favorite shows. We want to watch something, but no, it's on the other service, so you have to go subscribe to that other service. And on top of that, have whole thousands of these, and the more and more months you keep paying the fee, the more crazy and more expensive these things can get. And honestly, for the love of God, subscription services are some of the easiest ways companies can make money nowadays. But it's just insane, and I can't believe how far we've come. But
yeah,
that's
exactly.
But
it's like what you said. It's just like I don't think GameCube and Wii games won't happen because Nintendo's not going to do it. And like, plus, GameCube games and Wii games are very expensive nowadays because you do not go on the Virtual Console.
Oh, do we also want to talk about Nintendo getting absolutely pissed at people for pirating their games? Well, how about this, Mr. Nintendo? Why don't you give the games that people want on Switch so that way people wouldn't have to pirate your games? Maybe if you actually re-released them and gave us a freaking chance, we would have never had to pirate your games. That's all you have to do. And then when you do get around to re-releasing old games like Mario 3 All-Stars, you make sure we get the shittiest product possible. Kirby's Dream Collection was one of the best collections Nintendo's ever made and has a lot of love and care put into it. 7 games, I think, was it? No, it was 6 games. You got 6 full games. You got whole new challenge stages. And on top of that, you get a look at Kirby's history and random world events. You even suck up the games when you select them. And you can even watch episodes of the anime. And what did it retail for? $40. What does Mario 3D All-Stars give us? $60. Free games that suck because, for the love of God, why would you put Mario Sunshine in widescreen but not Mario 64? And on top of that, for Mario 64, you're using the Shindu version, the one that speedrunners can absolutely use. That is taking a shit over Mario 64's legacy, and it pains me that for the fact that people were willing to pay $60 for it because it was also a limited time item.
Yeah, exactly. And they also did Skyward Sword HD. That was very sneaky marketing that they did with his Skyward Sword HD. And like, and then somehow they still cared more about Groove than Donkey Kong.
And here's the real cool fun thing. So, like I said, Kirby's Dream Collection, 100% worth the $40 you pay. But, again, for the All-Stars, free games with upscaled HD textures, not much though, and the soundtracks. That's all you get for 60 big ones. Wow, I'm so happy I got to listen to the soundtrack that you don't release on Spotify. Who is going to walk around carrying their Switch? Just release your music on some music platforms. I mean, Sega's doing it, and speaking of Sega, they respect their fans. In fact, one of the fans who made Sonic Megamix they literally hired him and went on to develop Sonic Mania, one of the best Sonic games in a long time. Meanwhile, Nintendo just absolutely hates their fans, takes down every single thing that they ever make, and on top of that, absolutely hate it when people release music on YouTube, yet they don't release music on YouTube themselves, yet put them on actual streaming platforms. Unbelievable.
Yeah, man. Like this year for Nintendo is amazing for me. Like at the end of this month, I'm getting Nintendo Switch Sports. I'm very excited about that one. Then next month, I'm getting Pac-Fessor and Plus. And then June, I'm getting Mars Strikers Battle League and Cuphead DLC. That's pretty much it for the first half, though. So, but yeah, this year for me is looking very good. But definitely like 2017, definitely 2018 for sure. But it's just like I just don't want Nintendo to like make this expansion pack work. Like, you know, with Nintendo, you might as well make Nintendo Switch Online expansion packs up the luck and have like, I don't know, like Game Boy, Sega Saturn, GameCube, Wii. Like, I don't know, man.
And obviously, we all know Nintendo has made bad games before. You cannot make that argument either. We've gotten Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, Mario Party 10, Chibi Robo Ziplash. We've also gotten Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Some of the least best and worst Nintendo games out there. Ultra Smash by far is the worst contender. $60 for a rush product that's literally not even that good. You don't get nothing. It was there to cash out on the holidays. Say what you want about Tennis Aces, but at least it's better than Ultra Smash. And while a lot of people can complain about most of the unlockables being online and all of that, Tennis Aces is still miles better than Ultra Smash. Although Ultra Smash, if there's one thing that it held over Aces was the UI. But again, I'm not here to talk about Tennis Aces, and I don't want to piss anyone off who likes that game either. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this rant I did on the expansion pack, especially with Kartfessor as well. I've been wanting to do something like this for a long, long time. Ever since Switch Online dropped, actually, I've been wanting to make a rant video on Switch Online. But then the expansion pack dropped, and I wanted to make it more than ever, but then things got out of hand, and I wasn't able to make one. So now it's finally time I made one, just on the Switch Online and the expansion pack alone, and some other things that I don't like about the company nowadays. However, though, things, like I say, may improve. We may get Game Boy games. We may get GameCube games, and possibly do what I said at the beginning of the video, where they do something like Game Pass, where you give us third-party and first-party Switch games every 2 weeks. Again, that would be amazing, but a lot still has to be made. And while I can't judge the service yet, right now it's looking like the absolute worst, and people, including me, are paying money for it. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and without further ado, Kartfessor, what do you have to say?
Yeah, man. It was a good rant.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, let me know what is going on for recent stuff. So, what last thing I do want to mention before I end this video is that I'm officially canceling the great April month of key text. There's just a lot of things I have to get my hands on, and a lot still cannot be finished within the time loops. Especially the last two, like the Child Garden and the Sega Genesis. Those are going to be needing a lot more time to be worked on, because I have something very special coming in one of them, and it's actually amazing. I cannot wait to show you guys that. But yeah, I'm gonna be canceling the crazy April month of Keytex, but do not worry, I still will be making videos in April. I'm just gonna be canceling most of that stuff. I've already done half of those, but I cannot do Yoshi's Story Part 3 because my Switch is currently being fixed right now, and other things. So hope you guys understand, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.
We also take care, guys.
What were you saying?
Oh, we also have a review coming about a certain 2017 movie that's considered the worst sequel.
Yes, I cannot believe, you guys will not believe how bad this movie is. But anyways, until then, hope you guys have a good day and take care.
See you guys.